The blue machine of Ontario politics has gone brown, Patrick Brown to be exact. On Saturday, Progressive Conservatives in Ontario selected MPs, a federal MP, Patrick Brown, as their new leader. He won 62% of the votes. He trounced veteran MPP Christine Elliott for the top job. It was a 10-month campaign. It divided social conservatives and red Tories in the parties. Where will Mr. Brown stake out positions on social issues? What's his plan to rebuild and reunite a party that's been taking a drubbing in the last number of elections? Plus, there's another election in Ontario. The PCs will have to have been out of power for 19 years. Can he win it back? Joining me now from Toronto, the new Ontario PC leader, Patrick Brown. First of all, congratulations, sir, on your win. I know I see you around Parliament Hill here, but you don't have a seat in the Ontario legislature. Where and when will you run?
Well, Evan, it's great to be on your show, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm certainly not going to announce where I'm going to run just yet today. First, I'm going to resign my federal seat, which I plan to do on Wednesday. I'll be returning to Ottawa to give my farewell speech. You know, the next election is not for 3 years. I'll certainly have time to make my entry into the legislature. My primary focus right now is going to be on rebuilding the party organizationally, because obviously the party was not in the position I felt it needs to be to have a strong organization that connects you neighborhood to neighborhood, community to community.
All right. The question, you do have organizational work, but a lot of people say the PC parties, it's an identity crisis. Once it was John Tory, then it was Mr. Hudak. Christine Elliott, that campaign got heated. One of your supporters, by the way, a former leadership candidate, Monty McNaughton, who was on this program, got in hot water because he referred to Ms. Elliott's so-called big blue tent as the big pink tent. Some called that homophobic. He called her, Christine Elliott, Trudeau. What kind of party are you going to run? Is it socially conservative? Is it all-inclusive? What is it?
Well, first of all, you know, the characterization that it's red Tories versus social conservatives, I disagreed with that. You know, there was an assortment of views on all the leadership campaigns. The type of party that I want to build is one that is pragmatic, that is sincere, that's authentic. One of the things that I struggled with in the party before is I found we became far too ideological, and you know, you saw the party alienate group after group after group, firefighters, police officers, nurses, young people, and I want to rebuild the type of voting coalition, frankly, that the Federal Conservative Party has in Ottawa. I want to reach out to new Canadians, to young people, to the broader public and private sector, and I think the first indications that was happening, Evan, was at my campaign launch some 7-8 months ago, when I had the local firefighters union, police union, nurses union speak at my campaign launch, the head of the Indian Chamber, the Tamil Chamber, groups that you did not see in the Conservative family previously.
No question about that. You brought in a tremendous number of new faces. The Ontario Liberal Party has said you're too right-wing for the province. They say you're anti-abortion, you oppose same-sex marriage, you believe sex education should be taught at home, not in the classroom. In the House of Commons, of course, you voted in favor of reopening the same-sex marriage debate. Are you against same-sex marriage?
First of all, Evan, what else are the Liberal Party going to say on the day I get elected? I'm pretty sure they're not going to say Patrick Brown's going to be a great premier. But let me answer your questions. On gay marriage, that issue has been over for 10 years. When the initial vote happened, I wasn't even an MP in the House of Commons. I would not revisit that issue. Frankly, as an MP in Barrie, I was the first Conservative MP to attend Pride events, on abortion, we're not revisiting that issue. You know, my platform is going to focus on making Ontario the easiest place to invest, the easiest place to create jobs. My criticism.
Okay, so just slow down, because you know people are going to characterize you. It's good to get this on the record, because the Campaign Life Coalition endorsed your candidacy. They're known for us to be an anti-abortion group. So I mean, you can tell me your views if you support a woman's right to choose or not, but you're saying you wouldn't reopen the question on the abortion issue, or you wouldn't want to.
I'm not going to revisit that issue, and I'm happy to restate that it will not be part of my platform.
And what about one issue that's obviously going on right now is the sex ed curriculum in Ontario? Thousands of parents have been protesting in front of Queen's Park. You've said it should be taught at home. Should there be sex ed in Ontario schools curriculum? Well,
and actually, my answer was more than just it should be taught at home. My criticism was this: you saw the government on sex education promise consultation and then say, when all these parents got upset, that it was a minor issue. Evan, it wasn't a minor issue. Normally petitions in the House of Commons or Queen's Park have 50 or 100 people. We know how many how many signatures a petition often has. There were 70,000 parents. You know, we have parents pulling their kids out of school. What I have said is this. Obviously, it's a big issue. We should go back to the drawing board. When you have schools that have 1,300 kids and 1,200 are being pulled out, it's a crisis in the classroom. What parents have told me across the country is this. It should be the school system's job to teach facts, math, science, reading, writing. It should be parents' role to decide what's age appropriate for their children. It should be
but you know, across. I mean, I'm intrigued by that because sex ed is taught in every single province.
Yeah. And by the way, Evan, I said very clearly that sex education has a place, and we're not suggesting to get rid of sex education. We have sex education in the classroom today, and I did say that. On some of the elements that were brought in, on mental health, on texting, I thought they were worthy. My criticism was more focused on the pushing of sex education as early as grade 1 and in terms of pushing values. I think it should be parents that teach values. Parents decide what's age appropriate. And, you know, frankly, I'm worried about education today. We have teachers striking. We have parents striking. We have kids not in the classroom. This was a government that promised to bring peace and order and calmness to the classroom, and we're seeing chaos. And ultimately, when you have that type of disturbance in the classroom, ultimately the premier is responsible.
Well, where are you on the spectrum? Because, look, are you a Mike Harris Tory? Because you sure had teachers striking under Mike Harris. Or are you a Bill Davis Tory? Who are you?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you can't say you're going to replicate any politician from the past. I'm looking at the future. How I've described myself is a pragmatic conservative. I've grown up being volunteers for. I was Jean Charest's youth president. I've been a big supporter of our Prime Minister Stephen Harper. I think the fiscal discipline of Stephen Harper. I think the passion that I saw in Jean Charest. Those are all traits that I have admired. I think there's lessons we can learn from past progressive conservative leaders and on both the provincial and federal level.
All right, Patrick Brown, I got 10 seconds here. Will you ask Christine Elliott to be part of your cabinet?
Absolutely. I think Christine has a tremendous level of talent, and I'd be excited to have her in the leadership of our party.
Patrick Brown, MP, you'll be back in Ottawa. You're a heck of a hockey player. Now we know you run a heck of a campaign as well. You're now the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party. Congratulations on that. We look forward to covering you in this new capacity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.